So CARIUMAs or CROCS? If you had to choose just one, which one would you pick? In the last Thrasher issue, they had a bunch of this or that questions, so I put them on my Instagram story. Questions like Nigel's shorts versus Duffel's pants, or Mark Sushu or Yuto Horigome. So today we're gonna go through all of your guys' answers and get some sort of consensus, CARIUMA or CROCS. Okay, so question number one, Wet Willy or Flame Boy? 46% of you said Wet Willy, but 54% of you said Flame Boy. I also agree, gotta go with Flame Boy. Which city would you skate, San Francisco or New York City? That's a tough one, but 58% of you said San Francisco and only 42% of you said New York. I think I'd go New York all day. I just feel like you could roll around. It's flat, there's so much to explore, whereas San Francisco, it's all hilly. I don't think you get that urban exploration vibe. So stairs or rails? 48% of you said rails, 52% of you said stairs. I would have to go with rails. Yeah, personally, I think watching people skate rails is more exciting. But like everything has its place, so I'm not saying I don't like watching people jump downstairs, but I think I like rails just a little bit more. Kata Diaz or Skate Moss? 37% said Skate Moss, 63% said Kata. I completely agree with that. However, I did meet Skate Moss at my local skate park one day. She's from Utah. She was cruising through it and she was like super nice, but Kata's just a little bit more savage on a skateboard. All right, next one, Nora Vasconcelos or Lizzy Armanto? 37% of you said Nora and 63% of you said Lizzy. Honestly, I would have picked Nora, but I can see why people like Lizzy. I think I'd rather hang out with Lizzy, but I think Nora has one of the best styles, so I'd have to go with Nora. Ashadware or Dennis Buzenitz? 85% of you said Ashadware and only 15% said Dennis Buzenitz. It'd be interesting if you could somehow compare like Dennis in his prime versus Ashad in his prime, because I just feel like that's an unfair question, but I also would go with Ashadware. Mark Sushu or Yuto Horigome? This one really surprised me, but Mark Sushu only got 34% and Yuto got 66%. Something about Mark Sushu just seems like he comes across as unrelatable, and I think this is another example of it, but I don't know, this one's like splitting hairs for me. I really can't decide between Sushu or Yuto. I think I would go Yuto, but it's so close because I like watching Sushu as well. All right, this was a good one. Nigel's shorts or Corey Duffel's pants? Short shorts or tight pants? 34% of you said Duffel's pants, but 66% of you said Nigel's shorts. I completely agree with that. I honestly like skating in shorts. I played soccer, so like short shorts are kind of my thing. I had to stop wearing them though, because you guys hate seeing my legs. All right, beanies or bucket hats? This one was not even close. 12% said bucket hats. I don't know who you 12% are, but 88% said beanies. I just feel like it's like cognitive patterns. You'll always see me wearing a beanie. I post this thing about beanies or bucket hats. You're gonna choose beanie. All right, next thing, Jerry Sue or Kevin Spanky Long? This one was really close. 46% said Kevin Spanky Long and 54% said Jerry Sue. I have to agree with that one. Seems like Jerry Sue doesn't really skate that much anymore, and all Kevin Spanky Long does is like the most unnecessarily tall or weird slappies, but I mean, good for him. Gets paid to skate. All right, Kevin Bradley or Nael Smith? 32% said Kevin Bradley and 68% said Nael Smith. I would have said Kevin Bradley. He kind of seems like he's lazy, but he also seems kind of like he knows that he is and he owns up to it. He's not like taking any moral high ground, where kind of like the Jack Sparrow thing, where it's like you can always trust a liar to lie. I know what I'm getting with KB. There's no surprises, and I like that. Also, his skating is just so good, and the fact that there's like almost so little footage like almost makes me like him more. He's just like more of a novelty. All right, Slappy grinds versus ride-on grinds. 43% of you said ride-on and 57% said Slappy. I had no choice on this one but to pick ride-on because I do not understand how to Slappy. Somebody in the comments below explain how to Slappy. I'll have to make a Slappy video. All right, Heellock or Crosslock? 38% said Heellock and 62% said Crosslock. That's a sound victory for Crosslocking. However, I'm a Heellock guy. I even like Heellocking on back 50s. It feels more solid to me. The Crosslock thing just feels too crazy. Sack or KO? 46% said KO, 54% said sack. Definitely gotta go with sack. I mean, if you sack, you're not necessarily gonna hit your jewels. You're probably like hit your butt somewhere or your thigh or something, bounce off the rail and be sore for a week. But KO, I mean, that's like, we're getting into like concussions, long-term damage possibly, so I'd take a sack any day. I mean, not any day, but over a KO. Fred Gall or Jason Dill? 36% said Fred Gall, 64% said Jason Dill. I'd personally have to go with Fred Gall. Jason Dill gives me a weird vibe. Kind of creepy, like, to be honest. I feel like I'd be trying to talk to Jason Dill and I'd just be like, I don't know, like he'd be silent staring at me. I don't know, it gives me some creepy vibes. All right, wax on or wax off? 6% of you said wax off and 94% of you said wax on. I think that is the most definite victory so far. 94% wax on. Completely agree with that. I talked to Tori Pudwell about waxing. What he said was that most regular skaters do not wax things enough, and if they knew how much the pros waxed things, there would be no discussion. Everybody would be waxing things like crazy. All right, and then finally, the reason for the whole video, CARIUMA or CROCS? 46% of you chose CARIUMA. That number's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. And 54% chose CROCS, the obvious choice, the safe choice. But this or that is just kind of a vague thing. Like, let's be honest, if I had to skate one, I would skate CARIUMA's, but if I had to spend money on one, I'd probably choose CROCS. So yeah, I'm playing it safe, choosing CROCS over CARIUMA. One last bonus question that I came up with. Primitive Skate Park versus April Skate Park. April just revamped their skate park. It's all blue now, kind of bizarre. But 49% of you chose the Primitive Skate Park, 51% of you chose April. So pretty much tied, but April edges out Primitive Skate Park. Personally, I think I would go Primitive because who skates at the April Skate Park? Go to the Primitive Skate Park, it's like everybody wants to go through there. Who's skating at the April one? I mean, just a few of the April guys, some homies. I don't know like geographically where it's located and whatnot, but it just seems like people find their way to get to the Primitive Skate Park. It seems like the April Skate Park is like tucked away in some forsaken corner of LA that nobody wants to go to. But also, who chose the color scheme for the April Skate Park? It just, it's so bizarre. It's like you're underwater, like in a dark corner of the ocean. Make sure you check out this video where I talk about CARIUMA trying to sponsor Catercilla. Pretty interesting stuff. Remember to make every single day a Friday. Grab yourself a Friday t-shirt underneath this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.